good morning everyone. Little bit of drizzle, but it's a little bit of breeze as well, not too bad. Anyway, nothing to report. The job conditions on 80 metres CX-wise wasn't that brilliant, but I managed to get through. I was running about 600 watts, so there you are. There was a chap trying to work, John, and John was only with me about a 5, 6, 7. You know, I think this chap trying to work him with 25 watts, get out of it. You know, people are so the old thing, if you can hear him, you can work. It's not always the same. You know, so there you are. Anyway, I worked them, of course, at 80 metres of noise. You know, the other bands are much easier to work than 80 metres because of the noise and the different other things. So there you are, Mike. Apart from that, all is well. M0 Ultra Zulu, G4SSX in the group.
Good to hear you this morning, Wolfie. G4SSX from M0 Hotel Zulu. Lovely signal as per usual from East Coast in north part of London to Morden in the south there. Very nice, good 10 dB over 9 there, Wolfie. Right, 73 for now, Wolfie. Right, over to John for your final there, John. G4RT from M0 Hotel Zulu.
Yeah, okay,
I've got you, Roy, bring in a moment.
Yeah, I know. Martin was only 5 over 9. It dropped down from like kind of 20. And your signal now is just over the 20, Mike. Wolfie, you were 25 over. And Stuart, you weren't quite making 20, about an 18 over. And normally you're a lot stronger than that. But good morning to you anyway. And as far as seeing sunshine, you'll be lucky, mate, I tell you. I think after today, it's supposed to be rain for the foreseeable future again, and I really don't want that here. There is so much mud, it's unbelievable. In fact, I think I saw a herd of hippopotamus walk by the window a little while ago, so that's how bad it's getting. Anyway, that's it from me. Mike, I've all listened for a while. Thanks for running the net, and hopefully we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Mike 0 Hotel Zulu, G4RIT.
I did hear you last night, John.
You did, you say, Tony?
Yeah, sorry, I did hear you. Signal from you still, John. G4RIT from M0 Hotels. About 10 dB over. Yeah, the signals have started to drop down a bit, but they're still pretty good. We get. That's how it normally is. We expect that to happen. It all comes to life at around 7 and starts to disappear as we get towards 8 o'clock. But this morning we've actually had good conditions almost all the way through. It's been radio since the beginning of the Pathfinder, isn't it? Not really needed the web SDR for all stations. There are some stations I've needed the web SDR, but not your station, John, that's for sure. A good 10 dB over. And you have a good day. Catch up tomorrow, hopefully. Right, we've got Roy joining us. Over to you, Roy. Hope you're there. I know you called in just a moment ago, but there might be a ring on the door. M0 Papa Alpha Romeo. Over to you, Roy, from M0 Hotel Zulu.
No Germans this morning.
M08Z, M0PAR. Yes, good morning to everyone on the net. Not very good conditions this morning. On the area or just conditions, I don't know. Green won't come up for me. It's going wrong this morning. The carers are going to be at least a half an hour late, owing to an emergency. So I got up half an hour late, and conditions are not very good. So there we go. Anyway, the main thing is Paul and I are well, and it's a bit rather wet here. Not a lot of rain, but it's wet. So thanks for bringing me in, Mark, and hope all is well down there. I'd say conditions to me in Malvern, not very good. So back to you, M08Z, M0PR.
David M0 Papa Alpha Romeo from Mike 0 Hotel Zulu. Glad that you and Pauline are well. Yeah, the signals are starting to drop off, and I can't hear you on the radio this morning. Quite often you are a decent signal on the radio, but not this morning. You're coming into Conway in North Wales. Yeah, I was using Hack Green, but that seems to be a bit staccato. It sort of stops and starts and stops and starts. It doesn't actually drop out, it just stops and starts. It's a little bit annoying, so I'd rather use a Conway. The Conway's a little bit noisy. The noise seems to have abated at the moment. It was very noisy earlier. But good to hear you this morning, Roy. I hope the carers don't keep you away. 73. I'm going down for one of those finals there, Roy, but 73 for now. Right, let's. Well, Pam's next. I will let Pam have an over, and then we'll say goodbye at the very end with me, of course, sitting next to me. M0 PBX. Over to you, Pam, from M0 Hotel Zulu.
M0 Hotel Zulu, M0 PBX. Well, it's a dull, dark day over here, but I think the brightness and the sunshine is when you have people's cheery voices and cheery stories. There's too much down and too much nitpicking at the moment going on in the world, so let's not let it affect this net. There's a lovely bunch of people who've been going on for a long time, and each has their own different bit to add to it, so long may it continue, and thanks for all taking part, definitely. So back to you, my love. M0 Hotel Zulu, M0 PBX.
Yankee Whiskey Oscar.
Yankee Whiskey Oscar. Over to you, Kevin, from over in Essex there. Mike 3 Yankee Whiskey Oscar. I think that's right, from M0 Hotel Zulu.
Yeah, good morning, Mike and Pam and everyone on here. I haven't been on for a while, but I've been listening, everyone in there. I just thought I'd pop in for a quick one for David. YAX. Well, I had a new cesspit fitted about 2 years ago now, and it was nowhere near 20 grand. I think Ireland, and that was to fill in the old existing cesspit, which was an old Victorian thing, and have one of these water. You can supposedly drink the water back, but it comes out really, as I say, that was all fitted, all done, under 8 grand there, Mike. Back to you there, M3 YWO.
Yeah, I do remember you. Telling us that you had to re-landscape the garden after us and do various things to tidy it all up. And for Yankee Whiskey Oscar, of course, from M0 Hotel Zulu. Interesting, that one. Of course, each different location and situation is different, but it's an interesting that one. Kevin, I'm not sure whether David's listening is coming up. He'll be up shortly, but I will. On to him, maybe he needs to chat with you to find out who actually did it, of course, because he's not a million miles. Essex and Windsor reasonably close by. There's a fair distance, but the same guy could perhaps do it. Anyhow, there we are. Well, it's funny enough, it is actually David next. Hopefully he's there, so if he is, he would have heard that. G5YAX, if you're there, David, from Mike 0 Hotel Zulu.
G5YAX returning. Yes, Mike, I'm here. And of course you got it completely correct with Tony and so on. Yeah, there's no doubt all sorts of prices and price differences, and part of that comes well, the actual units that do the work are well under 5 grand, and then it all comes down to how much does it cost to install it, and how much drain field do you need. And the drainage field is different per location, and if you've got a ditch that you can put it into, then there is no drain field. but with the modern ones, and so that variations in costs come. And there are other areas, some areas, I don't think I'm one of them, where there's a even higher level of purity required because it's a catchment area and the water is to be to be caught again and go into the water supply, and that has there's an additional unit to go afterwards, so that can add another, each of these chunks are sort of $5 grand for this, $5 grand for that, and it just goes on and on. But anyway, there we go. Thank you very much, Mike, for running both nets this morning, and Pam, and it's been lovely to sit on the net and look at things. It's not cheap to store a house full of furniture, let me tell you, but that's a story for tomorrow morning. Cheerio and toodle pepper.
Dave.
David, hope you have a good...
Yeah, toodle pep, G5Y8X from M0 Hotel Zulu. Yes, of course, if you've got... it does make a lot of difference to where that lovely drinkable water, you could pump it back in and use it to save your water. I don't think I'd want to drink it. I think if somebody told me that, I'd say, well, you have the first class and wait for 24 hours and then I might have a glass myself. It's funny, isn't it? Because the water that comes back into the pond in the garden here, because it goes through a lot of sewage treatment work from the fish pond, and the water is ever so clear. It makes a lovely, sound. It sounds like a babbling brook that's out up in the mountains somewhere. But I wouldn't drink it. I can tell you that. No way would I drink it. Right. Enjoy your day, David. Keep us informed. No doubt you'll let us know what happens today. I'm going to go to Chris. I've got a feeling Chris might have cleared. He said he was doing something, so he may not be there. But if he is there, obviously he'll respond. G0 Mike Radio. If you're there, Chris, from Mike 0 Hotel Zulu 1. No, Chris, but we have got G1FTK if you're there. Oh, I know you're there because you just called. A silly thing to say, isn't it? Over to you, Nick. G1FTK from M0 Hotel Zulu.
I told him what I needed, and you could see a sort of glazed look on his eyes, He didn't really have a bloody clue what I was on about.
No, possibly so, Colin. I don't know. I tell you what. I tell you what's come into my mind. I was watching the news this morning, Carl, and if you still Mandy Mandelson has resigned from the Labour Party, and one of the things that had come out 20 odd years ago, that bloke who been had up for sex trafficking had given him £75,000 in a payment, and it wasn't declared as earnings. And the statement was from Mandelson, I can't recall ever having that payment. Well, bloody hell, Carl, can't remember. Everybody remember having a payment of 75,000 quid in their bloody bank account, surely.
Yeah, but then they on to incriminate Sarah Ferguson, didn't they? She was offering them tea in Buckingham Palace and all that, and you think, what the hell? Everybody is involved in this bloody stuff, But they were told. I knew a couple of days ago that he'd been given some money by Epstein. You wouldn't have imagined why he would need the money, but there we are. But they also mentioned pictures of young girls. I thought he was a bender, wasn't he?
He is a bender. Yeah, he lives with a bloke named Silver, wasn't he? Oh no, he's bent. Mandelson spent as a butcher's, Cole.
Yeah, well there we are. I don't know. Anyway, there's over 1 million bloody documents in there. Why would there be so many? Why are there so many of these videos? It just don't make sense to me.
No. Whether or not old Andrew will
go to America. I can't see him. He's not going to bloody go over there, is he?
No, the chap on the news, on the world news said they can't force him to. He would have to go on his own accord. He said if he did happen to turn up in America, they could then hold on to him. But he said otherwise he doesn't have to give evidence or anything, and I can't imagine that he would anyway.
No, and oh God, I don't know, it's a bloody mess. Poor Queen Elizabeth would have been turning in her grave.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't imagine Andrew's having much of a time of it, because there's obviously a hell of a lot more went on, and he's just, every night when he's lying in bed, I wonder if they're going to find out about this. I wonder if they looked about that.
Oh dear, Colin. I mean, it makes our lives pretty bloody boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it is the likes of us, if we do anything like that, we're the ones that get caught and locked out. I mean, the poor bugger, alright, he's had all benefits taken away, but he's still got a bloody nice house to live in.
At the moment, yeah, I know, Col. I know. Well, they never caught up with us, Colin.
No. Oh dear. Yeah. I don't know. The other thing he said is, do you think the public's getting bored with it now? And he said, this is over again. He said, no, not yet, but you could imagine though. Because I suppose it's going to take time to go through everything, whether they have done in the past and they just haven't released it. You don't know, but I mean, Trump is involved, and at the moment, they're out of it. But that would be the big one, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, there's always a bit of interest in the royals, the scandal in America, isn't it? They bloody love it. Anyway, there we are. Your signal's going down a bit now, so God knows you must be suffering with my low power.
Well, you're all right. On 8 to 9 at times, but it's all right. Let me just do a refresh. It's X 1.5. It's sort of leveling off a bit, but it's going to be interesting over the next couple of days, because this sunspot area is coming into that is not directly to Earth. But over the next couple of days it will, and if it stays active, there could be some trouble.
Yeah, and obviously, as you say, it's not affecting much at the moment. Well, John on NBD, he was, I think he was giving Nick and Dave 2 okay. Marvellous report, 5 and 8, 5 and 9, so, mind you, I mean, he has gone out and in location, but nevertheless. Anyway, what's the time, Carl?
Yeah, it's just turned over to 8:23 now, so, right, we'll have a good day. Yeah, this wind is going to bugger things up, but anyway, I'm going to be in here today, so we'll see you in the morning, okay? MW0, Jovi.
Have you, by the way, loaded that thing up on 40 metres, Colin?
What are we on about now?
That aerial of yours.
Oh, it will do, yes, but I got a separate aerial for 40.
Oh, right, okay. All right. Well, I'll go and have a twiddle with my stick and my ladder first. All right. See you later. Have a good morning.
Yeah, no, I changed it, didn't I? I changed it from 40 to 60 meters. But I can match the aerial to any band, Dave.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? With that setup. Yeah, point taken. All right, okay.
Yeah, see you later.
Caribbean in North America, GW0GEI. What model Flex is it, Steve? I thought somebody was calling then, but it's very, very weak.
Yeah, it's the 6600M. I was looking for a 6600, which is the black box model, without the knobs on the front or the screen on the front, but this one came along. It's got the big screen on the front and it's got the knobs, and actually it's a good opportunity for me to test whether or not the knobs are useful or not. I've run USB knobs with Flexes before on the desktop, and I've also run without them with just using the mouse and keystrokes with contesting software. So, but I've not used this latest software from Flex where you can use the front knobs onto the Flex radio to control the PC session I'm running at the moment. I'm running the software on the PC, but I've got a second session running with the radio itself, so that I can use the VFOA or VFOB. It's very similar layout to a K3S on the front panel. So it's a Maestro, the sort of the portable control unit on the front end of the main radio. So it wasn't what I was looking for, but this one came along, and it's got the two receivers in, which is what I was looking for to do SO2R. And it's got 3 TX PTTs out, which means I can run 3 amplifiers and then have a PTT on all of them without having to switch PTT cables some other way. So, but it also means I can run it from the house, so I can monitor this band for 2 meters from the house at night when rather than staying in the cold shack or coming back out to the cold shack. So it's the flexibility, shall we say, of being able to monitor several bands. You can monitor 4 bands. It's got 2 receivers, the 2 separate bands, 2 separate antennas, and you can have up to 4 slices, so I can monitor 4 bands at the same time.
Yeah, okay, it sounds all very complicated to me. I'm getting too old for this now. Any DX listing, any DX Norfolk G0MVD? Well, while you're young enough, Steve, then you'll learn it all. I'm not going to even try. I'm reasonably happy with the 101. There's some bits I don't like about it, but anyway. Right, any DX listening, any DX outside Europe? G0MVD. Right, that's me gone. I've got the plumber here. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, thanks for calling, John. I'll be before my next in about 20 minutes, so I'll see if Rick turns up. 73.
Okay, bye. Catch you later.
An EDX.
Cat it side with these things, and I'm wondering about putting a huge loop up, which would be relatively easy to do. A 160-meter loop, or an even bigger one, and then tune it with this tuner. But it's getting the enthusiasm these days, I'm afraid. I have more enthusiasm with playing back with rubbish on the bench. I think you're probably the same, but at least you've got the aerial systems to do it, Brian. G3VWH, G3YFK, over.
Yeah, okay. Coming up a bit now. G3YA, G3V. Looking up into Pat. So good. Okay, on the voltage vector analyzer and making off the leads. equal lengths. That's not a very easy thing to do. Oh dear, just cut too much off. Yeah, I tried that 2 meters phasing harness, but in the end I ended up buying a splitter, quarter wave splitter, and with PL259. So N-types actually. It's a nice job. I put the two 9-element tonners up, and to be honest, it was no better than one aerial. I think it's height again, and I got the spacing it should be about 10-foot spacing for a stacked array, but I got a spacing about 8 foot anyway, and that's not perfect. But I tried monitoring the beacons and things, and I couldn't really say there was any useful gain. So it was a lot of trouble. It was not worth it. But these delta loops, they work quite well. Quad loops, full wavelength loops, they work quite well at low height. And I put up one for 40 meters. Put ladder line, set it on the corner from the old shed outside. The actual ladder line was only a few feet long, and then used a tuner, a balance tuner, and it worked okay on 40, but it worked particularly well on 30 meters. I never really tried it on the higher bands, so I can't really comment what it did there. But quad loops are quite good. G3YFK, G3VWH.
Yeah, fine, Brian. G3VWH, G3YFK. Yes, I must admit, it'd be easy to do. I could get some telegraph poles, bung them in, and just wind one round. What I was going to try and do was to sort of have a bit of a think about where to put the telegraph poles so I could use them for different configurations. It didn't work, but this is a project for the summer. I couldn't even think of even doing it in this weather. It's thinking today. She come out, took one look at the thing and thought, what the hell am I doing out here? I'll just have my food and go back to bed. Very sensible bird, that. And no, it makes you wonder. I noticed that the birds seem to be getting quite active these days, so I think I'm going to have to, can't remember, but a lot of them I built ages ago and they're all falling to bits, which is no good, so that needs doing. What else has been going on? I'm trying to think really. Not all that much really. I'm very pleased to see that January's over, and at least the nights are drawing out slightly. That's the thing, but I wonder whether we'll have a really hot April and March and April, and then a boiling hot summer. I've got a horrible feeling we will, and then everybody be complaining with hosepipe bans and all that kind of good stuff. But I wonder, I must admit, I came on last week about 8:30. I was quite late, and I heard Peter on. He gave a call. No, it wasn't. I was playing around tuning something, and he called me. He must have known from the cosmic vibes it was me. In fact, I wonder whether he's around now. G3VWH with a pause. G3YFK over.
I can't hear anybody. I've got some interference at the moment, Pat. Sorry about that. G3YFK, G3VWH. A little bit of interference. Not too bad, but it is sort of about S9 and you're just over S9. So I copied most of it okay. It might just go away. It's right on our frequency. It's sort of I've had this before. But it's so stable, it moves up and down the band, but this one is right slap bang on 3750, so I'm not tempted to move because it might follow us around. Might be a tracker. Yeah, dreadfully wet. I want to go and, it's our green wheelie bin tomorrow, for collect twigs and things, and there's quite a few fallen branches out of the, not big branches, but just broken branches fallen out of the trees, and they're all over the back lawn, and I thought, well, I'll plod around and break them up a bit and put all those in the green bin. So I might have a go today, days dry. Because I had a look at the forecast. The forecast tomorrow is even worse. It's really wet tomorrow. So if I'm going to do anything, I'll have to do it today. But it's really muddy. It's very, very muddy and slippery as well. And it's not very good at all, really. I tell you, the weather girl was saying, I think it's the wettest January on record. I don't know where the record was, whether it was just generally over the country. I suppose a general, it was wet. Okay, on all the experiments, yes, they're quite good. I've got a spider poles here, and I've bought over the years. They're 12 meters. You do need guying. You need one set of guys. But the spider poles do some very long ones, where you do sort of 60, 70 foot. But they need two sets of guys, I think. I think Rob's got one, G3RCE, a big one of the big spider poles. And he's got a ZF6 DKW centre of his on the top of it. The beauty of the 6-peak fiberglass or carbon fibre, no, it's carbon fibre, they're fiberglass, aren't they, I think. There's a non-conductive, whereas with my aluminium mass is conductive. So it's not ideal for running a balanced feeder down from the top. But however, on the garden I've got this window, it's on the left-hand side of the garden going into the fir tree. And that's okay. That seems to work okay. And, I could have an open wire. Well, I have had an open wire on an 80-metre dipole on that side of the garden and brought it down to a balance shooter on the fence. And that worked okay. That worked quite well, actually. But it's all, stuff. I think if it's low bands, then probably the Delta Loop is probably the best. And then a corner fed to get the from the quad loop, Right to the 80s, yeah. There's so much stuff, and a great ham radio for little ones. So much going on, there's so much home brewing, it's amazing. Compared with today, it's absolutely incredible. G3YFK, G3VWH.
Yeah, fine, Brian. G3VWH, G3YFK. No, you're right. It does make you wonder 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how much work was going on. And I looked up the spider poles and those carbon fibre, the very, very tall ones. But the disadvantage is they need guying. That's the problem. And if the sheep get in the field, well, you're dead. I had a guide fiberglass one here with a K9AY on it, which was an experiment actually, until the sheep demolished it. And I don't know whether to. It would be better, at least the thing. So I think I'll end up doing something with those. But like I say, you can't do anything this time of the year. And if you say it's going to rain like hell the day after tomorrow, or tomorrow, it's wonderful. That's all we need. Not good at all. But well, it's always down to aerials these days, and I always had this theory: you're better off spending 10,000 quid on an aerial system and having a crystal set on the end of it than having long wire feeding into something that costs 10,000 quid, because you're only going to be disappointed. But I know I had a bit of a rude smile to myself, because moving all these fallen trees and ivy and God knows what this last month cost me the price of a new 7300 Mark II. I thought, well, it would have been interesting just to see what the hell one of those things would do, but it's not. I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Not a lot. No, your audio is all right now, Brian. When you first came on, there's a lot of echo on it, but I think you've got the mic gain turned high. But it's all okay now, and I just wonder whether anybody else. It's about, yes, I suppose it's around about that time, but maybe we're not being heard by the usual lot. I'll just quickly stick it over to you, and with a pause, and we'll see if anybody else is on. I did hear some tuning up there. G3 VWH, G3 YFK with a pause, over.
Nothing heard this end, Pat. Is it clear with you?
Yeah, no, nothing here either, Brian.
Oh, you're coming up now. Oh, that's better. It's very poor conditions when we started, and you're really coming up now. You're 5 and 9 plus about 30 dB. Just last when you said they're all okay here. Booming. Yeah, okay on all the antennas. Yeah, the spider poles do need that guying. That's the problem with them. You're better off to use trees. I mean, I'm using trees really. You know, the chimney of the house at one end and other tree holding up the centre of the third tree holding up the centre of the Wyndham antenna, which is of course coax feed on that to a full balun. But when I changed to the HF antennas, I've tried G5R, ZS6BKW, centre fed 80 metre doublet, which according to the ARL, the centre doublet was, supposed to be the best, but to be honest, I didn't find it that good. But in my situation, I did find it disappointing on the higher bands, but they said that is. And then the SEPIC article, which said an 88-foot top, said with 600 was a good HF all-round antenna. And I did try that, and sure enough, it worked quite well, actually. It even worked on 80. Quite surprised, because quite a short top, that, 88 foot. Because ZS6KW is 90, and G5RV is 102 meters, something like that, 51 foot a leg. So I was quite surprised. And I got to whatever antenna you put up between two poles, or whatever, tree and the house and chimney, it was the same path. So I can't see there's going to be a lot of difference, because the location's always the same path. G3YFK, G3VWH.
G3VWH, G3YFK, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I remember years ago playing around. I think the best antenna I ever used was a folded dipole for 80 meters. It was an inverted one, and if I remember rightly, it was the usual inverted V. Then at the bottom where it came down, I folded it up again about a foot away from the other, the one that was coming down to the ground, up to the top again. And that was unbelievably good. I said it with a 4-to-1 balun, I think, can't remember. And it was dead quiet. That was the great advantage of it. You could hear all sorts of things on it. But no, it makes you wonder. It's like this 66-foot wire. Once I tuned into it, I'm just looking at the SWR thing here. and it's reading exactly 1.00 to 1, which, and I haven't tuned it. I just left it switched on. It's still in the same tune position. So when I tuned it up a few weeks ago, so from that point of view, it's quite useful. It's, I was going to ask you about something, but I can't think what it was. The brain's going these days. Wait a minute, sync. Aerials, yes. I don't know what made me do it, but I thought, well, you always need 600 ohm carbon. Remember those big carbon non-inductive resistors you used to see, big black things with 6 ohms written on them? You know, they have completely disappeared off the face of the earth. I thought, well, I'd probably need another one if I did build something like something that required terminating that, like a VB. And I thought, wonder where you get them from. Well, there's absolutely none about. It's quite. I thought DX Engineering or one of the stateside firms would at least have that, but no sign of them. Do you remember? I think they used to be sort of 600 ohm rated about a watt, if I remember. They used to go into. They used to fit in a couple of Terry clips or something. It used to go on the back. It's the kind of thing that just I haven't seen for years. I think you can remember them. G3VWH, G3FK.
Good morning, G3SMT.
Good morning, Pete. You'll have a load of the carbon because I know this.
Well, funny you should say that, but I do have a lot of this tubular, whether it's 600 ohms or not, I don't know. I'll have to look.
Do you remember the things you used to see in broadcast stations, those big long carbon things, black things made by Morganite or something like that? I thought, oh, it'd be a piece of cake to buy some of these if I need to terminate an aerial. No chance. Nobody does them over.
Yeah, well, they used to be made by Morganite in South Wales. The ones I have, excuse me, frog in the throat. I would say, off memory, sort of an inch and a bit diameter, maybe 6 inches long, something like that. I know I've got a few in a box somewhere. I can't remember what values they were. More than likely 50 ohms, but there might be some 600 ohm. You'll have to have a look for you. But they were similar to the ones that were fitted in the back of the T1154 sender. They were like Terry clips, and these resistors sort of clipped into them. But nowadays the normal way is use the semiconductor 50 or 600 ohm loads mounted on a suitable heat sink. Some of these cylindrical heat sinks, they do that. The last time I used them was on a T2FD antenna, and I was stuck in the middle of a desert somewhere, but that worked alright. No tuning, so shall we say the uninitiated switch the band and talk. I'm waffling. I'm not sure who the other station is you're in conversation with, so sorry for butting in there. G3SMT.
It's Brian, G3VW.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. Morning, Peter. G3SMT, G3...
Oh, have a look.
Resistor, and it was very directional, but it was very directional. It was more like a point-to-point antenna. Anyway, we'll discuss that another time, Andy, and I'll join you a bit earlier in the morning and give you a call and have a listen, see how you're getting on. I'd be interested to see what I can hear. Thanks again for the invite, Andy. Enjoy the day. Sounds good. Over.
I'm down in QSB a lot. Yeah, today's leg day, so I'm really going to enjoy leg day. But that's it. I'll try, like I say, the ex-whale trains twice a week, and I train 4 times a week. I've got a part-time job in the gym as well. I work there a couple of days a week, just on the front counter, just customer facing. So that's good fun. But there we are. Anyway, hopefully hear you one morning, and we'll see if we can get you a bit of DX across on. 10-3's Brian, have a good session, and hopefully talk to you again. MM0GTX, Mike 0 Charlie Hotel Kilo. 10-3's.
Yeah, very good, Andy. Yeah, I'm just going to pop to the gym, try and get in every day. Yeah, about an hour. I used to be not a gym buddy, but I used to go a lot, trained a lot beside big guys that were kind of more bodybuilding style. I'm more athletic side. Trying to keep fit, but over 60 now by a couple of years, so just trying to keep the fitness and the muscles and keep the legs going. But it's not bad. I'm quite pleased with how things are going. I've started a regime to make myself go. And I'm starting to enjoy it again, Andy, just as I can hear you do. It's nice to just get in there a wee bit earlier when there's not so many other people about, shall we say. 73's Andy, all the best.
7-3's Brian, yeah, I'm just over 60 as well, and that's the reason I go, just to keep myself fit and strong, and try to slow the onset of old age. And I've just got the ex-whale to come with me. She's on a first, this 4 for her, so I've been training there for probably about 10 years. I did train back when I was a lot younger, but kids in life get in the way, and I stopped. Unfortunately, I shouldn't have done it. I know that now, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. 7-3's Brian, thank you.
Yeah, Roger, Andy. Yeah, no, I was the kind of same. The good lady, she's pretty fit. She's in the Coast Guard. Just a wee bit younger than me, but that keeps her fit. All exercise isn't here, there, and everywhere. But no, it's good to get it back into the gym, and you get that little rush. I did a lot of rugby when I was young, and the legs and knees are a bit short, but we're trying to get back into some sort of shape. The top half's looking not bad, but the bottom half, we need to concentrate on that. All the best, Andy. 73.
7-3's Brian. Bye-bye.
The Mike 0 Golf direction now clear of 80 metres.
Anyway, it was a daft thing to have a look for yesterday, and I thought, well, after spending about half an hour messing about looking for such things, I thought, well, that's another wasted afternoon. Why did I bother? But you've got to do this kind of thing just to see what's going on. Not much more to add, really. 3YFK, over.
G3YFD3VWH. G307C returning. Very good morning to you, Brian. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your call straight away. You're very weak with me this morning. Strength 3 to 4. And I can hear background noise, which normally I can't. So there was a massive error and a fade out yesterday. HF fade out for quite a few hours, so it's either vestiges of that or another new one. It was quite a monster job apparently, and it did make quite a difference to the bands, and could well be an auroral event. I've not checked this morning. I was sorting a few things out first thing. I've got to take senior management to the hospital, and we were getting a few bits and pieces together. So it's just an outpatient visit at the moment till they decide what's happening. Weather-wise, I don't know. I can't see a thing. Visibility must be 5 meters, maybe a bit more. It's just total grey outside, and temperature's +4, and the pressure's gone down 993. So I don't know. very, very little wind. It's sort of to the east or northeast. It was the last direction, but it's 5 knots anyway. So there we go. Yeah, we were talking last week about receiver calibration, weren't we, Pat? I was thinking about it. If the chain with both receivers is the same, the only reason for discrepancy in readings on the meter is calibration. And could it have been that one of them was a spare kept in stores until such time it was needed, and then they would set it up and put it into use? Normally the distribution amplifiers are effectively unity gain. They were rather hefty cathode follower devices even up until they stopped using them. So that's all I could think about, really. Something else I was going to mention then. In dash.
Some USB. Let me just throw a bit. Yeah, I'm only running about 400 at the moment, so let me just go back up to nearer the kilowatts. So hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's peaking at kilowatts now, so that should be a bit to get over the QSB. And will your Dave, your 5 and 6 plus or minus with QSB, and your building